You know, it's really interesting because Mark talks quite often about what it's like today to be the head of a global company with over 5,000 employees. And the use of chatter, as he said, he knows more about what's going on inside of the company today than when they were actually a 10-person startup in a single room. And so that's the power of the use of social media at an enterprise level, and particularly for this generation of knowledge workers. We want this to gracefully work alongside our other cloud infrastructures, which it does, and we want it to be familiar and useful to people, which it is.
How is the success of social media impacting consumers' adoption of cloud computing services?
Well, that's a good question. I think of them as being interconnected, and I also think of them as being, to some degree, mutually exclusive. I think cloud computing really represents a platform view of how you bring technologies to market. For us, it's been part of the genesis of what we believe to be Cloud 2. So there was Cloud 1, and the original vision around Cloud 1 started when Mark was looking at the complexity of enterprise software and really wondering out loud, why does it have to be this hard? And again, as a sales professional, one who's deployed multiple types of enterprise platforms in my career, I will tell you it was very complex, very lengthy, very time-consuming, and financially very expensive. And I think, so that was Cloud 1. How do we take advantage of the internet? The internet changed everything, and so how do we change that dynamic, and how do we create that Amazon.com kind of feel, where you can go and actually conduct commerce over the internet? That was the original vision that Mark had. We really want to make enterprise software as easy as it is to conduct business on Amazon.com. For us, Cloud 2 is how do we make it as impactful as Facebook and Twitter and YouTube? How do we take enterprise software in a world where the consumer, the user, their expectation is that it be more interactive, that it be mobile, that you don't go get information, but the information finds its way to you. And that's our vision around the intersection really of social media and the cloud infrastructure, that they are in fact two sides of the same coin, if you will. And our vision and our execution strategy is built around how do we take that environment and move it into largely a cloud environment that manages relationships. We manage them in different domains: Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, our Custom Cloud, where you can build custom applications to manage those relationships in a way that is worthwhile for the customer. Chatter takes the ability to create a social, collaborative environment around managing that relationship across that cloud infrastructure. So it's a good question. I think they are, again, two sides of the same coin. I don't think that social media is exclusive of the cloud, and yet we believe that a unique part of what we bring to the world and to the market is the ability to really have that social media, that collaboration feel inside of our enterprise cloud platform.
What advice would you give to an MBA considering a career at Salesforce.com?
Well, let me just say that it is a very dynamic, creative, vibrant place to work. It's a culture that thrives on creative thinking, customer focus, a very intense focus on customers and markets. And I think, as you would in any career, I think particularly with very prestigious, perhaps the most prestigious business school, Tuck, the brand alone says a great deal about the candidate. And what we do a very good job with is what we call connecting the dots. So now with over 5,000 employees globally, we quite often work through our employees' alma maters to go ahead and bring in the best and brightest to Salesforce.com. And so the first thing I would say, and clearly the students know this, that's one of the reasons they're here, is that Tuck alone establishes a certain brand of credibility, and that's great because I think we associate with that kind of brand. And the second part is what Becky is working on, which is how do you then take that brand, that community, that Tuck community, and find your way to Salesforce? Well, our alumni, and I'm certain there are Tuck alumnus inside of Salesforce.com, are very vibrant and very active in terms of their alma maters and being involved. So connect the dots back into the company. That's a great way of doing it. We hire at a very rapid clip. We are constantly looking for the best and brightest. And we do a very, very good job of engaging our employees in that process. And I think the efforts that Becky is putting forth to use our platform to connect to your alumni is a perfect example and a perfect way to make that connection into Salesforce.
If you had a crystal ball, how do you think social technologies will impact your company in the next 2 years?
Boy, a crystal ball. Well, I would say that, I often talk in these terms, but the truth is always with the customer. And so I think what we do a very good job of is listening to our customers. Of course, like all great companies, we watch for market trends and use a variety of ways to aggregate data to really try to anticipate the future. But I think what we do in an extraordinary way is really stay close to our customers and really listen to what it is they're saying. There is no question, if you just simply look at the number of customers, which now number well over 20,000 of our greater than 85,000 customers on a worldwide basis, this has been the fastest adoption of one of our new technology clouds that we've ever seen. So we believe very strongly that the trending that we've seen around the adoption of Facebook and Twitter and other very interactive media types like that, and its place in the enterprise world is being validated. And I think we'll continue to ride that vision into the future, all the while listening and watching closely as we go along. The interesting thing about social media and the internet alone is that it's opened up a horizon that is much broader. And so you really need to take stock of a lot of different trendings to really anticipate the right thing to do. And I think we do a very good job of that. There is no one single source, but it always begins with the customer, and then we augment that with a lot of other market data that we take a look at. So the early indications, as our customers would show us, is that we've really gotten the fit for chatter inside of the enterprise world correctly, and now it's how do we evolve that along with our other great clouds that we have on top of our platform.
Mark Dickey, on behalf of the Center for Digital Strategies at Tuck, I would like to thank you again for speaking with us today. I'm sure our listeners will appreciate your thoughts and insights. This has been Alyssa Klein for the Center for Digital Strategies at the Tuck School of Business.
Thank you, Alyssa.